Back in April, I posted a video from an article that was talking about how men's lack of self care impacts their partners. And I put it with another video. It was kind of a mashup, but I wanted to do this video on its own because it's very important for women to understand how our time, energy, and resources are so important. And if we keep giving them to other people, that's less time, energy, and resources that we have to pour into ourselves. Now, it is important to understand that symbiotic relationships are important. Supporting people who have supported you is important. Sometimes you're down and that person is stronger, but symbiosis is important. And you shouldn't be the one giving, 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 and you're never receiving. Your cup should be filled up. Your cup should be filled up just like you're filling someone else's cup up. So keep that in mind. Go ahead, watch this video, and this is not just for heterosexual relationships. It's not just for romantic relationships. This is giving, giving, giving to any organizations that are taking up your time. It's familial relationships that are draining your resources. It's your job. If your job is just draining you, you have to think about where your time is being spent. And if those organizations, those people, the anything is not filling you back up, you need to reevaluate your boundaries and don't continue to pour into people that are not pouring into you, and don't allow somebody else's lack of self-care and health impact your self-care and health. All right, watch this video. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. Relationships matter. Men know this. This is the reason why many are freaking out that women are pulling back. This article from Psychology Today is about men's self-care and how their neglect impact women. Let's get into it. All right, the bullet points. Men's neglect of their health doesn't just harm them, it imposes unrecognized burdens on their partners. Men face several all or nothing misconceptions about self-care, which hinder their health and relationships. Relational self care helps men see their health as interconnected with their family and societal roles. We often think about the personal benefits of self care and miss how taking care of ourselves or not can profoundly impact our partners. Imagine a man named Michael in his early 50s whose life is marked by years of neglecting his health. He's a hard worker and a provider, yet he bypasses routine medical checkups, dismisses growing fatigue as a mere side effect of aging, and treats his worsening breathlessness with disdain rather than concern. Over the years, his diet has leaned heavily on convenience, fast food, and late night drinks while he scrolls on his phone. Michael's partner, Emma, watches this slow decline with increasing worry. She has suggested doctor's visits, offered to cook healthier meals, and even proposed evening walks together, but her concerns are met with defensiveness. As Michael's health inevitably declines, culminating in a diabetes diagnosis that he tries to ignore, the burden of managing his health care shifts onto Emma's shoulders. Michael represents the quintessential man who lets his ailing health and deteriorating attitude become his partner's problem. Michael's maladaptive and self centered self concept not only perpetuates traditional gender roles, but also places a significant, often unrecognized burden on women because men are statistically less likely to engage in regular health checkups and seek psychological help. Women tend to be disproportionately affected by men ignoring self care. Self care and caregiver burnout. Ella, a reader, recently highlighted this critical aspect of self neglect, bringing to light the emotional and physical toll it places on those who step into or are forced into the role of caretakers. She highlighted the many wives, sisters, and female friends who suffer from caregiver burnout, a state of physical, emotional, and mental exhaustion from taking care of their male partners. This phenomenon of self neglect, rooted in cultural norms around masculinity and broader social expectations, can arise for many reasons, including mental illness, poverty, and isolation from family and friends. Older adults may be unable to care for their basic needs, including personal hygiene and appropriate clothing, due to medical conditions or other disability. While such forms of self neglect carry severe public implications, there is a more subtle form of neglect that begins with younger men: defensiveness and reluctance to address issues that will eventually turn into problems for their partner. What blocks men from taking care of themselves? As I've written in other articles, there is nothing inherently gendered about caring for oneself. Despite highly feminized consumerist notions of self care, it is not a sign of weakness, but rather a courageous act of showing one's true self. With all its complexities and imperfections, there is a critical need to shift how men perceive and practice self care. However, many men still feel trapped in false dichotomies that can hinder their willingness to adopt healthier behavior. Here are three common all or nothing misconceptions that exacerbate men's unwillingness to address their health concerns. Strength versus vulnerability. There's a prevalent belief that showing vulnerability is a sign of weakness, particularly in men. This dichotomy can make it difficult for men to seek help or express emotional needs under the misapprehension that to be strong, one must be entirely self reliant and impervious to emotional distress. This black and white thinking overlooks the reality that true strength often involves recognizing when help is needed, and that vulnerability can enhance resiliency and deepen relationships. Success versus self-indulgence. Some men may equate taking time for self-care with being self-indulgent, believing that every moment must be dedicated to working or productive activities to achieve success. This perspective fails to recognize that self-care is an investment in one's capacity to maintain productivity and achieve long-term success. Regular self-care practices such as adequate rest, exercise, and leisure activities are crucial for sustaining one's health and ensuring longevity that extends success beyond the realm of work and into the realm of relationships. Stoicism versus emotional expression. Often, men encounter a false choice between maintaining a traditional masculine identity and expressing emotions or engaging in activities perceived as less manly, like yoga or mindfulness. This either or thinking can prevent men from engaging in a range of health promoting activities that benefit mental and physical health when self-care becomes a relationship problem. Now, this is amazing. I'm glad that this person is tackling this, but men are going to have to learn how to hold their own nuts. They're going to have to learn how to hold their own nuts because a lot of women are opting out of mommying these people. The mom to wife pipeline is drying up. So younger men, my generation and younger, are going to actually have to learn how to take care of their own health and self-care because women are pulling back from that underappreciated, unvalued job. Men seem to think that, what women bring isn't valuable enough. And women are kind of tired of having to play mommy figure. And so this is the reason why this showing up is so important, because it gives men, the opportunity to take care of themselves, because what you do as far as your relationships, your mental, your physical, emotional, and your financial health all work together. And if you're not taking care of your body and your mind and all of that, it's going to impact your finances on the back end. This really just goes to show how women have to give and give and give. And this is one of the reasons why so many women are opting out, because who wants to be burdened with this type of thing? Jump in the comments. Let me know what you think about this one. Don't forget to like, comment, and share.